How much RAM do I need for a DAW? If you are diving into electronic music production, you might be asking yourself how much random access memory you really need for your digital audio workstation. This is an important question, especially when producing genres like trap music, which often requiring multiple virtual instruments and effects. Let's break it down together. First, let's understand what random access memory does in music production. Random access memory temporarily holds data that your computer needs to access quickly. In a digital audio workstation, it helps load audio samples, virtual instruments, and plugins. If you do not have enough random access memory, you might experience slowdowns, glitches, or even crashes while working on your projects. So, what is the recommended amount of random access memory for different levels of music production? For starters, 8 GB of random access memory is the minimum requirement. This might work for very simple projects with just a few tracks and minimal plugins. However, it is generally not suitable for serious electronic music production because it limits your ability to use multiple virtual instruments and effects at the same time. Next up is 16 GB of random access memory, which is often considered the sweet spot for most electronic music producers. With this amount, you can comfortably run professional-grade digital audio workstations and use several virtual instruments at once. This is especially beneficial for trap music production, where you often deal with complex beat arrangements and layered synths. 16 GB strikes a good balance between performance and cost. If you are working on very complex projects, 32 GB of random access memory or more is ideal. This amount allows you to handle dozens of tracks, large orchestral libraries, or multiple digital audio workstations running at the same time. It ensures a smooth workflow with minimal waiting times for samples to load, giving you the freedom to keep many virtual instruments and effects active. Plus, it future-proofs your setup as software demands continue to grow. When producing electronic music, especially in genres like trap, you often relying heavily on virtual instruments and sample-based plugins. These can consume a lot of random access memory, particularly when using high-quality samples or layered sounds. Having at least 16 GB means you can experiment freely with sounds and effects without worrying about running out of memory. If you plan to create very detailed arrangements or use large sample libraries, upgrading to 32 GB will give you extra room for creativity. In summary, for electronic music production with a digital audio workstation, 16 GB of random access memory is generally sufficient and recommended for most users. It supports multiple instruments and effects, allowing for complex trap music production without performance issues. If your projects become more demanding or you want to prepare for the future, consider 32 GB or more. Avoid settling for 8 GB if you want a smooth and productive experience.